probably know Matt Berry from his appearances in comedies such as The IT Crowd, The Mighty Boosh, or House of Fools. Maybe you know Stephen Toast from the BAFTA-winning Toast of London, or Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows. Or maybe you've just seen him in concert. This musician and comic actor is now starring in Year of the Rabbit as the titular Victorian copper roustabouting in the streets of East End London, keeping them crime-ridden and filthy.
Where's the girl?
What girl?
Where's the girl?
What girl? I really don't know what you're talking about.
How come we found one of her shoes out of your chimney and there's a lock of her hair in your top pocket?
I've never seen this before! Oh, please make this...
I haven't started, Chief. I'll lolly you out like a fucking Toby jug! Where's the girl?
All right, I'll say anything. Please stop.
And that's just one of the things policemen do all day. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Milson, for helping us. Now, who wants to see how we fish opium out of sailors' arseholes?
And I'm happy to say that Matt Berry joins me now. Welcome to the show, Matt. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for asking me.
And congratulations on Year of the Rabbit. I mean, he's a hell of a creation, this guy. Where did you find him? How did you get to create this Victorian copper?
I'd wanted to do something like the Sweeney, but set in Victorian times for quite a while. And it was an idea myself and Ben Farrell had. And him himself he's a cross between two people. One of which you might know, actually. The old landlord of a pub called The Rose on Weston Street in SE1. He's not there anymore. I got the sort of accent and the turn of phrase from him and also from my dad. So he's a mixture of those two.
What did your dad bring to this?
The sarcasm, mainly. My dad is a master of it and has been forever. It's just that kind of earthy sort of sarcasm. Like if I did something stupid, he would go, well, that was a good idea then, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Like that's what he'd do. And it's that kind of thing that I try to put in.
Do you reckon we could wrap this up in the next 10 to 15? Because I really got to be somewhere.
You're trying to confuse me. You shut up. Shut up or I'll shoot your cock off. Into the air.
Right, that stopped the chat.
Certainly did. I'd have hell of a job finding another.
The creation of him, the getting into the costume, the getting into the character of him, how did you build that up?
I sort of purposefully didn't think about Victorian or the fact that I was in any kind of costume. I just thought of it in terms of the here and now, because that's what it would have been, if that makes any sense. So he's just a bloke. He doesn't know that he's in Victoria. Well, he knows he's living in the Victorian era, but he doesn't know that there's going to be kind of clothes to follow that won't look anything like he's wearing now.
There she is. Flora, is it?
Pig shit, is it?
I prefer Inspector Rabbit. Now, before you swing like a chimp's ballsack, I want a list of everyone you've done in.
One of my favourite episodes is when Freddie Fox has to become a Cockney. He has to kind of learn to join the East End boys. How do you become an East End Cockney?
It wasn't so much of a stretch for me. The accent isn't too far away, whereas Fred obviously wasn't.
Because he's posh.
Yeah. So, but he did a fantastic job, I thought. You know, he based his on Sid James. I think his dad told him to do Sid James.
Right, because he couldn't base it on his dad.
No, though he does do an amazing impersonation of his dad.
Which I'd like to be backstage.
I want to use in Toast, but that's a different.
That's another.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown wore his crown upside down around the town.
Pish poor.
No. Like this.
Brown.
Bran.
Bran.
Waiter, you're a slum boy.
Town.
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 Tan.
Don't go easy on him, Norris.
There.
But more bronchial. That's it.
Mr. Brown wore his crown upside down around the town.
My dear boy, I think you might be ready.
Splendid.
Oi!
I mean, fucking Kushti!
I think you did really well.
Now, you very much into your music
Yeah.
as well, Matt. Do you manage to get the music into the comedies that you do?
Rabbit, less so due to time. I was filming in Canada. I was doing what we do in the shadows just before, we started the main sort of pre-production to do it. Otherwise, I would have been a lot more over the music side. But I did the theme tune and the closing credits for it.
Tell me about your band. How you've done 4 albums now?
6 albums.
6 albums.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I missed the greatest hits compilation.
No, that's all right. No, well, the last one was a TV theme. It's got to number 38 in the charts. It was out the week after, but it was there.
What was the first album you ever bought?
Tubular Bells, my mum got it for me. It's a naff thing to say maybe, but that did change my life because I'd never heard anything like that. It sounded terrifying and it sounded like the weirdest kind of chaos. Even as a 15-year-old, I knew that this would be in my life forever. And then I looked on the back and I saw the list of the instruments that he played. And he was 19. I remember at the time thinking, I need to sort myself out, because if he could do that at 19 and I'm just sat in my bedroom, it's not good enough. Yeah, I just thought if he can do that, then, do anything.
I don't know if you were watching films or TV at the time. Did you have a TV comedy? Obviously now you're in so many of them. Did you have one that you saw and thought, oh, they're good?
No, I wasn't. I was more interested in music in terms of things to watch. I mean, obviously I loved comedy. If I could be in any sitcom, at all, one would be Blackadder as it was, and Fools and Horses.
The first Blackadder?
Well, no, the second one.
Right, Elizabethan.
Yeah. I would have enjoyed that, and Fools and Horses.
Would you be Grandad, Del Boy?
I don't care. I'd have done anything.
Come on then. I would definitely cast you in those for sure. What about the first movie you ever saw, Matt Berry?
Watership Down, 1978. My mum just thought it was a cartoon for kids, and I think it was a universal rating. Watership Down should have been a 15.
Yeah.
And then my mum couldn't take me, but my mum did, because it wasn't classified, I don't think. And yeah, it was so harrowing and so not what I thought I was going to be watching.
And little rabbits.
And just being killed and murdered, and everybody was like ripping each other to pieces. And it stuck with me, you know what I mean? That sort of level of intensity and cruelty.
And Mike Batt writing Bright Eyes.
Which is beautiful. I mean, that's another thing, as a kid, doesn't make any sense at all. There's this beautiful song that's in the charts, I think it was as well.
Yeah,
Art
it was
Garfunkel.
huge,
Yeah.
And they said Art Garfunkel couldn't survive without Paul Simon.
Well, he
I say
did all
Bright
right with
Eyes
that.
to you, Matt Berry.
Yeah, exactly. So you're seeing this kind of beautiful song that you've seen on Top of the Pops the week before, and then it's part of this film that is horrendous.
You've done a playlist for us.
The reason I did that was if I sort of happen to not have my phone with me on a Virgin flight, I can just listen to my songs.
Your own songs.
Yeah.
Well, people will, they'll be challenged by some of them. Some of them will know.
That was the point. I didn't want to do something which is obvious and kind of, sort of forgettable after you've run through them all. I want you to go, what the hell is this now? To give you that sense of a jolt.
People are going to be looking and challenging. You're challenging the very algorithms of Spotify itself to come up with Matt Berry's obscurities.
Good.
Well, thank you very much for it. I look forward to listening to all of it, all the way
Yes,
through.
do, yeah.
And to watching Year of the Rabbit on board, which is absolutely brilliant. I think we shall enjoy. I hope for more of that to come.
I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to them.
Well, if it's up to me,
if it's up to you, then yeah, we're sort of home and dry.
deal. Lovely to see you, Matt.
Lovely
Thanks
to
so
see
much
you.
for coming on.
Cheers.